my beautiful friends, and welcome to a brand new video. So you have clicked on part 2 of our Robe Francaise project. In this video, we are going to be working on the stomacher, which is the part that closes the dress, and we're going to be working on all of the frills. So we are going to be making 3 different types of trim today. So this is what we're going to be going for, the look. And so I think that we're going to be layering a few different types of trim to try and really get some depth in there. And so let's get started with the first kind of trim. So for the trim, I'm going to be using pinking shears, the little zigzaggy boys. And that's so we don't have to go ahead and hem many meters of like 2-inch wide strips. So the first piece that I'm going to be doing goes all the way around the bottom and around the top of the neck, like the entire front of the dress. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut out a continuous strip that is double the length of all the way up this side of the skirt, around the back and down. So it's going to be double that length because we're going to be gathering it down. And I'm going to do 2 inches wide because we don't want it to be super thick because it's just a trim. So let's get started. So what we're going to do is box pleats. For all the way down, we're going to do the fold one under like that, and then under on the other side. And then we're just going to fully do that all the way down, and it's going to become half of its size. So almost 3 hours later, I have gathered down my 6 meters of fabric into 3 little ravioli meters. So I'm going to go ahead and pin them just around. And let's do it. Okay, so now that I've pinned this all on, I'm going to go ahead and stitch, just straight stitch down the middle all the way around. And I know it's visible, most people would do it by hand, but I'm not gonna. Easy as that. Now we are a little bit more frilly, but don't be alarmed, we're not near done at all. So now I'd like to go along and decorate the front skirt panels. So a lot of the dresses of the 1760s had this design where they would take 2 strings of ruffles and kind of weave them together, and I'm going to go ahead and try doing that. And I'm going to layer ruffles as well, so I'm going to do a layer of white and pink ones underneath, and then a smaller layer of blue. And those are going to be different types than the kind we have here, so let's get started on the bigger white and pink ones. So I'm also going to pink the edges of those, and the larger set of ruffles, I think I will do 3.5 inches wide. And so I'm going to go cut out a lot of that. The second kind of trim is very similar, except for instead of doing box pleats, we're only pleating in one direction. I pinned down the strips of ruffles, making sure to crisscross them, having one go over and then under each other. And I did this on both sides of the dress. I then simply straight stitched down the middle of these ruffles. It really didn't matter how it looked because we're putting another layer on top. For the final layer of ruffles, I'm going to be pinking strips of the blue fabric that are 2 inches wide. Then on a straight stitch, you're going to want to increase the length all the way that it'll go, and so on both sides of the fabric. Then we're just going to tug on the strings, and that will gather up the ruffles. Once the strips are all gathered down, I'm just going to sew along both of the side seams. I sewed on these pieces of ruffles by hand, and that took about 12 hours in total. Okay, so we've got the little puffles on. That's what we're calling them. It's a term. It kind of looks like a mess on camera. It looks really good in person, so I think it's just the shadows, but that's fine. So now we're going to start work on the stomacher, and so I'm going to cut out a lining layer out of a pretty stiff cotton, and I'm also going to cut it the same size layer out of the same that I used for the petticoat. And to make my pattern for that, I'm just going to measure across this chest area here, across about down here, just under where the petticoat is tied, and the length from the top measurement to the bottom. And I'm just going to cut that out. This is the shape I cut out on the fold. So my plan to decorate the stomacher, I'm going to completely decorate the outer layer that's going to be visible and is made out of the white flowery fabric, and then I'm going to connect it to the inside layer, which I'm going to do the boning in, because it's got to be pretty sturdy, because that's what we're using as the closure. We pin the rest of the dress to it, and that's what actually holds the entire thing together. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make a whole bunch of these ruffles, which was the first one we made, and I'm going to pin those on and show you. So I decided that I wanted to make some bows, Rottweiler hair. So what I'm just going to do is I made this little rectangle. It's just one longer rectangle flipped in half, and I'm just going to use this piece of ribbon to gather it down, of course more clean than that, and then I will sew it off in the back. So this is what my stomacher is looking like so far. So I'm going to do straight stitches down the middle of these pieces, and I'm going to hand sew on the bows. Okay, so this is what the stomacher is looking like, but we've got to work on the bottom layer. She's a bit wrinkly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3 boning channels. One that goes here, one here, and one down the middle. And I'm just going to do that by cutting a strip that is the length of the entire thing and about 1 inch wide, and then I'm going to flip it in half, and then I'm going to just sew it along there and stick in my boning. So this is the placement of all my boning channels, and I wouldn't worry too much about thread color because this is going to be on the inside. And if you can see, I've left a bit of space between the boning channel and the side, because when we put the 2 layers together, we're not going to want to go over the boning with the machine because you'll definitely break a needle. Now that the inside of the stomacher is all ready, we are going to pin these pieces right sides together. Of course, I'm going to do a better job than that. And we're going to just sew all the way around, leaving probably the bottom open so that we're able to flip it right side up. So after I flipped it inside out, I just put a little bit of binding on the bottom, but you could definitely just flip the raw edges in and top stitch around there. But now that we're done with the stomacher, we are actually done the dress. It doesn't have any closures because you just pin this part of the dress to the stomacher and it holds it on. And so today I actually have a tea party at my grandma's house, and so I'm gonna be dressing all snazzy, but I can't go with my hair like this and my face like this. What am I, a poor French woman? So I'm going to be showing you some of my getting ready process. It's not hard. I just gotta make my hair big and poofy, curl the little side bits, and so let's do that. Ignore my mole. So this is just a tube sock that I filled with some scrap fabric, and I'm going to place it right there to help build the height. And I'm just going to start taking hair pieces. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And plopping them on top. Let's see. Wrap it up over. You tuck it in. And you just keep doing that over and over. Now, I'm leaving some pieces down because I'm going to curl them, but once you've got it all plopped on top, I'm just going to go ahead and take bobby pins, you know what bobby pins look like, and just really secure it down, smoothing it down, and making sure everything stays in place. My hair is moderately secure. I'm gonna try and curl these pieces. I don't actually know how to curl hair, so I'll check in, but other than that, I'm pretty much ready. So I'll be back to update you on the dress. I didn't actually end up videoing when I had all the dress on and my hair up and stuff because I'm unorganized, but I did take some pictures, so I will show those now. Really proud of how this dress turned out. I think like it was a lot of work, but it was worth it because it's just like, it's such a dreamy little dress. And one day a prince is gonna ask me to a ball and I'm gonna wear this. So he better be ready for that, and he better be able to step up his game and wear something that matches. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you use this video to make something yourself, you're epic. What the heck? I'm epic because I showed you how, but you're epic because you did it. So you should show me. This is my Instagram. Just show me. I don't care. Make sure to like this video. Wow, I feel like a real YouTuber. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye!